The judgment in the Brendin Horner case has been handed down. Sekola, Matlaletsa and Skwetje Mahlamba have been acquitted on all charges of murder, robbery and stock theft. For the latest on this, I'm joined by Mnisi, who's been covering the story for us. Linda, I suppose gauging people's reaction to the outcome of this case, perhaps some may have not expected the judgment to, read to no charges.
Well, and Paul, I suppose the signs were there from very early in the case, when the DNA tests excluded both the accused from Horner's vehicle and recently from the bloodstained clothes, not placing them at the scene. We heard yesterday cell phone data also excluding them to the scene. But earlier in June, both the accused came back to make a bail on new facts, and they got 5,000 rands bail in light of that DNA. But the state felt it still needed to go to court and that the accused had a case to answer to. I'm joined now by the NPA spokesperson, Paladi Shuping. Tate Paladi, thank you so much. Like I said, the signs were there already early in this case. It seems that resources have been wasted here.
No, it can never be a waste of resources, because you must be aware that there are offences that are alleged to have been committed. And we had to follow evidence that was presented to us by the investigating officers. As you are aware that even though we did not have DNA linking the accused, there were statements that were made under oath by all those that were called to testify for the state or on behalf of the state. And it was unfortunate that when they got into the courtroom, when they had to testify or be cross-examined, some of them contradicted themselves, and there are others who distanced themselves from the statements that they made under oath.
I mean, even initially, when you're gathering this evidence, the credibility of this evidence must be top priority in Tate Shuping. And if you look at, where the case started, shouldn't that have been something that was prioritized from the get-go? Because based just on prima facie evidence, there must be prospects of a successful prosecution here.
But like I'm saying to you, there was a prospect of successful conviction. Remember, we used this very same evidence to oppose their bail when they were applying for bail in October last year. And then even the magistrate concluded that he is denying accused number one bail based on the fact that he's got a case to answer. So we could have never anticipated that some of our witnesses will distance themselves from the statements that they made under oath.
It's quite interesting that you view it as distancing themselves from their own statements when they're alleging that police have been involved in tampering with their own evidence, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the fact that I'm presenting, because when some of the witnesses were asked, why is this evidence in your statement but you're not presenting it before court today, that's when they said, no, I did not submit that kind of evidence during the time when the statement was taken.
Is it not concerning that they are alleging that police are involved here?
It's a concern, but you must be aware that our focus is on, we're not taking statements, so our focus is on statements that have already been presented. And the fact that those statements were taken under oath, it's one of the issues that convinced us that there's a prima facie case against all the accused.
Was witness protection ever, offered to the witnesses? We are now sitting with an issue where one of the key witnesses in this case, Kambule, is saying that even after he came to court to testify, police came to his house the next day saying that he would be arrested for doing a 360 on the statement, the very same statement that he said was not drafted by him but by the police.
Well, unfortunately, I will not be in a position to respond to that. Like you are saying, it's the police that went to his house. But what I can say is that if he has any problem with regard to the conduct of any official, whether it's prosecutor or the police officials, he can lodge a formal complaint that will be taken into consideration.
All right, so there you have it. Paladisho being the NPA spokesperson, really responding to, the new information that was shared by witnesses, saying that even after he came to court to testify, police officers still came to his house to ask him why he turned against the statement, the very same statement, Paul, that he claimed was not written by him. He says the second statement was taken 7 months after he made his maiden statement, and everything that was written there was not what he had told the police. In fact, he had gone on to say that there was no point where he felt threatened by the accused, and he would never say that, and which is something that was contained in his statement. So there you have it, the NPA responding to those questions. And Paul?
So many of those questions that really need answers and some sort of clarity, lots of confusion there. Linda Mnisi, thank you so much. Let's leave it there for now.